Namaste friends, and I hope that you all are doing well. Hope everything is good at your side. The conjunction series is continuing now towards the Sun and Ketu. Okay, now let's talk about the base tattvas, or the elemental parameters of Sun and Ketu first. And the first house, of course. The Sun is all about producing, or rather, yes, I would say producing the energies that you were meant to be given. Okay, all these energies are being showered by the nakshatra particularly, and the Sun is a repository of all that energy. Okay, it stores all your potency there. All right. Now Ketu, of course we can talk more about the Sun, but let's continue. Now the Ketu, on the other hand, is an energy which sort of dwells on the higher truth of meanings based on what happened on the previous life or the previous lives. Okay, a accumulation or a residual outcome of your previous lives. What it does is it collects that information and dwells upon it on this birth. Okay, let's say if you have been a banker, for example, on your previous life, and in this birth, all right, it will try to recollect that and to see that what mistakes that you have done as a banker in your previous birth, which has deviated you from the path of true enlightenment. In fact, it pushed you closer towards samskara, or the cycle of life and death. It reflects, and that means that this reflection is very passive. Okay, it doesn't actually do things outwards or action wise. It's very inward, right? It dwells within. It goes to the core to understand why is this going on such thing. Now that mentality of research, okay, of dwelling the past, may not be fruitful in, okay, I say may not, okay, there's a meaning there. It may not be fruitful in this Janma or in the material gains, okay, because you are not thinking about the future. You're not thinking about what you can do to elevate yourself in the material world. So Ketu is all about understanding your past deeds and dwelling in and sitting in, thinking and pondering over it. Okay, so now you have the Sun and the Ketu. Now the first house, the guna, or the essence of first house, is not to gain experience. It doesn't project an outward understanding. It's all about something that you have accumulated from your previous birth, right? And just like the very essence of Ketu, right? It's something that you have created from your previous birth, and it's ready to show to the second house on how it can use it. Remember, these houses are connected, right? So that power that resides in the first house is just waiting. That impulse is waiting to be transferred to the other house, especially the second house, where it will gain experience on how to use it. Okay, how to use that powers. Now the first house is definitely a strong dharmic house. It's called strong dharma, and it also shows a lot of propensities or natural talents, because it shows the very core of a person. It shows what is this person made of, physically, mentally, spiritually, and karmically. What are the components of this person? The identity of this person is shown in the first house. So what happens when all these three gets together? You've got the Sun, Ketu, and the first house. Almost all three have some benign features behind them. They all seek, or rather their intentions are very clean, very pure in nature. Although Sun is mild malefic, but Ketu is a confusing graha. It is not bad or good. Okay, it has its in a very very humbly I'm putting it, it has its mysticism behind it. It's very mystical, which is again, it's the karaka for supernatural or the mysteries, right? It's got, one has to go into serious learning only on Ketu. Perhaps he may not even a lifetime may not be even enough to understand Ketu. It is so mysterious, which is why past life readings can be very, very difficult. A task which requires a lot of, not only those generally established protocols and rules and functions, but also tiny little subtle nuances. Okay. Anyway, I'm just trying to make it to you that these things are very important. Okay, you cannot arbitrarily say that okay, you have Sun Ketu in the first house. These are the things that's going to happen. Doesn't work that way. All right. Again, every chart is unique. It may be functional for one person. It may be not for the other. That's another caveat there. Okay. So in a very general, but on a very firm and strong foundation, Sun and Ketu in the first house produces a person with great experiences in life. Okay, grand experience in life, because you have that willpower, that feeling of pureness, that feeling of strength, that feeling of courage, that feeling of confidence in the Sun. And the Ketu is all about research and understanding what you have done on your previous life, what are the mistakes that you have done on your previous life, and of course it's going to push that to Rahu. But having just Ketu and the Sun, and remember, Sun is mild malefic. One of the reasons of Sun being mild malefic is it punishes the grahas which is together. Okay, this is something important. When I say punish, means it's stern. It's not like harsh and crude like Saturn, but it sort of like the headmaster of a school. All right, he must be stern to the pupils, right? And at times he must show that he is stern by some form of authority. Just like that, the Sun as a strict and stern, discipline-oriented headmaster. Okay, he must teach the students. It's like just like that, the Sun will have to teach any grahas together with it, and that teaching shows that who is the real boss, right? As you all know, the Sun is the king of the grahas. So with that precedence in the Sun, with that quality, with that strength and authority with the Sun, Ketu would have to, in many ways, obey to what Sun is doing, right? Although Puranic story shows that Ketu is it's the enemy of the Sun, but there's not much of a choice because of the position of the Sun, the authority of the Sun. Now again, you need to assess so many things here, the Graha Balan, the planetary drishtis, and there's so many things going on there. So now with the Sun taking precedence over Ketu, what happens is life will start to bloom very beautifully. Okay, life will start to project very nicely. Every experience that this person has, or rather if you have Sun and Ketu in the first, every experience that's going through in your life will be recorded, will be remembered, will be reused, right? Will be reused, and that experience that you're gaining will not go in waste. You will never make a mistake again. Okay, there's no such thing as making the same mistake again. To the best of my knowledge, to the experience that I had over 12 years now, I see people who have Sun and Ketu, they never make the same mistake again. Okay, because that's what the tattva, the guna is. They want to learn. They want to learn, and they take pride in storing that. Okay, in keeping that, and they move forward. Okay, they move forward, and that creates a very strong and sturdy foundation. It's like someone who started selling fruits by the roadside and end up becoming a CEO for a huge, giant corporate. Okay, and the experience that this person had, right, from a street vendor right up to the CEO of a huge multinational corporate giant, it can be immense. Can be, it's truth, right? It's knowledge, wisdom, and truth all together. And these people will succeed even when they reach on a higher positions. They would not be, they would not brag. They would not show arrogance. No, they would not, because that's not part of their learning curve. Their learning curve is, I want to learn more. I want to understand more. Okay, it's not learning, it's understanding. And that creates a very beautiful transition in life. They become very, they elevate in life slowly but surely. Okay, they really make it. When they make it, no one can shake them. Okay, of course, this particular feature of learning and using it very efficiently is something that comes with pure devotion and right knowledge. Or else, what will happen is it goes back the other way around. Let's say if you have the Sun in Ketu, the first, and you don't understand all the conditions, okay, because it still depends. What sort of family you're being raised, what sort of environment you are, Remember, astrology or the grahas influences a person 75%. The balance 25% is self-conditioning, experiences of life, people whom you meet, the community, the books that you read, the places that you go, and so on. That also takes a huge integral factor here. So as I was saying, if the person doesn't have the right knowledge to use this, the benefits of Sun and Ketu, it goes the other way around. This person will never come up in life. This person will be always confused, or at least for the next 38 years. Okay, for the next 38 years, this person will be living in complacent. Okay, which means overly. He assumes, or she assumes that understands that this is what life is all about, but then in essence, he or she doesn't know what it's doing. Okay, so that sense of pride, or rather false pride, may not make a person very successful in life, because they do not know how to learn from their mistakes. That efficiency is not there, which also makes them poor orators. They are known to be recluse, because what happens is they start to point finger of whatever problems that are going on in their life, because the amount of exasperation and frustration will be so immense, because Ketu doesn't come easy, okay, especially in the first house. The personality of you, the make of you is to learn things by losing. That's what Ketu does. And together with Sun, that power that it produces, or the synergy that it comes, must be carefully managed, or else it's either two things, as I mentioned. Either you'll make it really big because you're learning to reuse the knowledge, or you lose it. Okay, you'll remain as some guy who is intelligent, or some person who is intelligent, but do not know how to engage with the society, do not understand how to integrate with the society. And at least for the next 38 years, he or she will have to go through serious problems in life, losing family, going away somewhere, being a recluse, couldn't grasp the meanings of life, right? Only after 38 onwards, then he or she will start to fall into the groove, okay? But either way, slowly but surely, Sun and Ketu in the first house gives good benefits actually on both spirituality and worldly gains. Of course, friends, remember, this is not, you shouldn't have take whatever I said verbatim, but this is a good foundation, okay? Always assess what you have in your charts, okay? Make sure you get the right astrologer, or if you are learning, make sure you understand the core meanings, the tattvas, the theories, the essence, the philosophies before making the prediction, okay? So I hope this helps. If you're new to my channel, do subscribe. Till the next time, thank you, friends. Namaste.